Hey everybody and happy Sunday. It is time for my Sunday screening selection. I'm Nina Soden, the redheaded author, and I am so excited today to talk about Room. So Room is directed by Lenny Abrahamson. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And it was written by Emma Donoghue. She wrote both the novel and the screenplay. So now that I have seen this movie, I definitely need to check out the novel and put it on my to-read list. It stars Brie Larson, who I have been watching in films a lot recently. Her name just keeps popping up on my Netflix, so I just keep watching. And it also has Jacob Tremblay in it and Shane Bridgers, that's how you say it. This was a dramatic thriller and so intense. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars because it wowed me. So let's first go ahead and read the blurb. The blurb for Room is this. Held captive for 5 years in an enclosed space, a woman and her young son finally gain their freedom, allowing the boy to experience the outside world for the first time. Can you imagine being captive in a small room? And this was not a big room. I mean, it was maybe 10 by 10 feet. Being held there for 7 years. I can't even fathom what that would feel like. All right, the storyline, I'll give you a little bit more in-depth detail. Room tells the extraordinary story of Jack, a spirited 5-year-old who is looked after by his loving and devoted mother. Like any good mother, Ma dedicated herself to keep Jack happy and safe, nurturing him with warmth and love and doing typical things like playing games and telling stories. Their life, however, is anything but typical. They are trapped, confined to a 10 by 10 foot space that Ma has named Room. Ma has created a whole universe for Jack within Room. And she will stop at nothing to ensure that even in this treacherous environment, Jack is able to live a complete and fulfilling life. But as Jack's curiosity about their situation grows and Ma's resilience reaches its breaking point, they enact a risky plan to escape, ultimately bringing them face to face with what may turn out to be the scariest thing yet, the real world. Wow. Okay, so yeah, this one was pretty intense. Back when this movie first came out, I don't remember hearing about it. I think maybe I remember seeing a preview or thinking, oh, that looks good, but I'll get around to it when I get around to it. Because as I watched it, I vaguely remembered bits and pieces from maybe a preview. But I don't know how I never was pushed to actually watch it. I don't know how I never actually saw the film before now. I guess I just never got around to it. I know that the nominations for the Academy Awards, it was up for Best Actress, Best Picture, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay. After finding that out, I was intrigued. Still didn't have time to watch it. Now, 4 years after the theater premiere, I have finally watched it. Thank you, Netflix, for giving me the ability to binge watch whenever and whatever I want. So actress Brie Larson won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her performance in Room, and I can tell you this, it was well deserved. Wow. As a mother, I can not even come close to imagining what it would be like to be abducted or losing my child to an abduction. Nor could I imagine raising a child in captivity like that, in that confined space where you have no privacy, no space. It's not safe. I can't even imagine. And she depicted that beautifully on film. What that must have felt like for her, the fear and yet the struggle to keep him safe. This film pulled at my heartstrings in so many ways. I hated old Nick and his character and the way he treated her and the way he treated that child. And well, that is just a sign to me of a really amazing performance, because you're not supposed to like his character, and he made it. He just made you hate him. And he was only on screen for a very small portion of the film. And it was powerful, and it was devastating. So with the first half of the film, it all took place in a small 10 by 10 room. Okay, 10 feet by 10 feet. That is not a big space. If you can picture what that is in your head, it's not a lot of space. And you would think that the cinematography wouldn't be too much to talk about. It wouldn't be that exciting. However, the way that the camera makes this space feel so claustrophobic and makes the actors, both Brie Larson and Jacob Tremblay, feel like they are forced to kind of maneuver around this tiny little space. It makes you think of everything in just a slightly different way than what you have, and it makes you appreciate the space that you have. Both the acting and the cinematography have to work so well together to pull off making this space feel as cramped as it really is. Okay, this movie will make you think. It will make you question reality. It will make you question the world in ways that might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, and even question your own beliefs, question your neighbors, and question the world around you. There's a saying that no matter how much you think you do, you can never really know someone. And this movie made me realize that that's so true. I mean, this man is the next door neighbor to so many. He could be your postman. He could be running the cash register at your local grocery store. You don't know people. You can't know people. And that is so scary. Okay, this film brought out that paranoia in me as a mother. And I think it brings out that paranoia in a lot of people. I would do anything to protect my kids. And this movie shows us that we cannot always protect them. That there is sometimes in life that you have to let go a little, and you can't always protect them from the evils of the world. And it was intense. Okay, so my favorite quote, I believe I have two. I have two from this film. The first one is, there is so much of place in the world. There's less time because the time has to be spread extra thin over all the places, like butter. So all the persons say, hurry up, let's get going, pick up the pace, finish up now. Jack says this, and he's the little boy, so he's lived his entire life in this 10 by 10 room that he calls a room, and this is his whole world. And when he finally gets out, the world is massive. There is so much of place in the world. And he sees that people are rushing about and hurrying and doing this and doing that, and it's a constant thing in place to see all of place, all of the world. And for him, where his world was just this tiny little box, it's overwhelming. But what it shows me is that sometimes you have to slow down. Sometimes you have to take time to appreciate your space, your world, what's around you, and not be rushing off quickly to get to every other place in the world. All right. Quote number 2 is also by Jack, and he says, when I was small, I only knew small things, but now I'm 5. I know everything. And the reason I love this quote so much is because I have kids, and kids do feel like they know everything sometimes. And there's still so much to learn. I'm an adult, I'm in my 40s, and I know I don't know everything. There is so much to learn, so much in the world that you will never know. So to hear a 5-year-old say, when I was small, I only knew small things, but now I'm 5, I know everything. I just think that that is so true to the nature of most children, and I love it. And I love the fact that when they grow up, they realize there is so much that they will never know. And that's really exciting because there's always something to learn. All right, so that is Room. My random thoughts on Room. I loved it. If you have seen it, comment below and tell me what you thought. If you haven't seen it, I urge you to go out and watch this film because it was so well done. Okay, Room. Tell me if you've seen it. That is my Sunday screening selection for today. If you liked this video, please click like and share it with your friends. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel so that you never miss a video. And if you want to be alerted every time I post a video, click on that little bell down below. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your Sunday. And until next time, happy reading.